Hello everyone, this is Worth 8567, back in the episode of Flower Summer. Last episode, well, we got to do the choreography for the recital coming up. Well, Sure High wants to work in the back, so let's ask her. I must be pulling a face like I've just been into a lemon, as Sister Basquate's brow furrows before I can even turn her down.
適材適所というやつですよ。いくら詳しくとも、今まで一度も参加してこなかったクラスメイトが振り付けをするなんて。
Well, I don't think I'm the right person for the job. No matter how much I know about ballet, people don't want someone who's never even participated in a lesson choreographing them. I certainly wouldn't like it.
そんなことないわ。
That's not true. Sister Basquate shakes her head.
このクラスにそんなことを言い出す生徒はいません。発表会は1年生みんなで協力する催し物よ。全員が参加した方が良いと思っているわ。
No one in this class would have any such complaint. Besides, our style is an event intended for all first-year students. It's best if everyone participates in some way. I smile wryly to myself, Sister Basquate, and her belief in the fundamental goodness of human nature.
とにかく、やれる自信がありません。辞退します。それより白羽が、踊るよりも裏方をしたいと言っていました。代わりに頼んでみては。
At any rate, I'm not confident I could do it, so I'll have to pass. I think Shirahane would be a better choice. She said she'd prefer working behind the scenes to dancing. Why don't you ask her instead?
八重垣さん。
Miss Yagaki! I set my mouth firm and ignore the look she's giving me like she's a puppy I've abandoned. Once I've said sorry yet again, bowed some more, Sister Basquate finally gives up on trying to persuade me. She gets a signal that break time is over and goes back to the exam. I pause alongside when I make sure that we have a little bit of a mute. And then back to the game.
振り付け、やらないの？
You're not going to do the choreography. I hear a voice behind me and my sigh catches in my throat.
足音を立てずに歩くんじゃない。
Don't creep around silently like that.
はぐらかさないで。
Don't touch the question.
面倒だ。そういうのはもっとマメなやつの仕事だろ。
Be such a pain, though. The job belongs to someone far more diligent than me. Since she knows my personality, she can't really argue against that. She opens and then closes her mouth as though wanting to object. Not wanting her to push any further, I avert my eyes from her.
私はエリカの振り付けで踊ってみたいわ。
I want to dance to your choreography. By the time I've returned my gaze to her, it's too late. She's already turned her back to me and is making her way gracefully to where the selection test is taking place.
次は高崎さんね。始めてちょうだい。
Next up is Miss Takasaki. Please begin. Chidori begins dancing, everyone's eyes on her. If we're talking in terms of technique, then of course she's unrivaled. If I had to describe the prowess of her performance, I might say that she just maintained a stable axis on all her turns, or that her jumps appeared weightless. But it's difficult to really put her dancing into words. She certainly accomplished those things I just mentioned, but if I were to distill it down to the one single thing, it'd probably be the fact that I simply couldn't take my eyes off of her. However perfect it is, there's a sense of danger to her dancing that makes it impossible to look away. When she's finished, I don't feel inclined to applaud in awe at how wonderful she was, so much as I'm aware that she stole away my soul, if only for a moment. If I were to...
はい、ありがとうございます、花火師さん。
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Hanabishi. She ends with a reverence amidst a storm of applause.
順当に行けば委員長で決まりか。
I guess it makes sense for it to go to the president. Chidori's dancing was certainly above and beyond everyone else's. Still, although she lags behind her a little in terms of overall skill, the president's performance was not to be outdone. And the applause she got almost attests to the fact that she had Chidori beat in terms of both stability and expressiveness.
八重垣さんの目から見て主役はどちらになると思う？
Hikaki-san, who do you think the lead role should go to? I mulled my answer to her question. I have to.
方眼びいきに聞こえるだろうが、千鳥かな。
Doesn't sound like I'm just rooting for the underdog, but Chidori.
別にどちらも上手だし、方眼びいきだなんて思わないわよ。
Oh, but they're both so good, I don't think either is the underdog. I remind her that this is just if the decision were down to me, and go on to explain my reasoning.
確かに技量だけなら千鳥が上だ。だが、危うい感じがするだろう。
Chidori's definitely better for going by skill, but she has this lack of steadiness, don't you think? She nods, she must have picked up on it too.
あの危うさと目を引きつける演技は千鳥の表現力の一つだと思うが、悪い面を挙げるなら、抑える演技をしていないんだ。
I do think that sense of danger is one of her expressive strengths. It really keeps your eyes glued to her. The downside is that she doesn't give a very controlled performance.
抑えていないって？
What do you mean by controlled?
わかりやすく言うなら、自分の技量より上の技に常時挑戦しているというのか。
Simply put, it's like she's always trying to push herself further.
常に攻めの姿勢なんだな。さらなる完璧を求めすぎている。そこが危うい。
She's always on the attack, always pushing too hard for perfection. That's what makes her dancing seem so dangerous.
そう、だから目を引いたのね。
I see, so that's why we couldn't take our eyes off of her. As an aside, I admire that I personally like an aggressive approach, however...
まあ、千鳥は主役には選ばれないだろうな。
She probably won't be chosen for the lead role anyway.
どうして？
Why not? The reason why Chidori isn't suited to the role of Princess Aurora, why she won't be chosen as the lead?
例えば白羽がフィギュアスケートのコーチになった場合、実力が同程度と仮定して。
Imagine if you became a figure skating coach, and you had two skaters of roughly the same ability level.
常に全力の選手と8割の力で演技する選手がいたとしたら、どちらを選ぶ？
One of them always gave 100% in their performances, while the other only ever gave 80%. Which would you choose?
それは全力の選手の方が。
The one who always gave 100% would. He starts to answer, then trails off, realizing what I'm getting at.
な、常に全力っていうのは聞こえはいいが、一発勝負のスポーツの場合、失敗する危険性がつきまとう。だが、
Always giving 100% might sound good on paper, but when it's a sort of sport that necessarily comes down to these make or break contests, the shadow of failure is always looming.
8割の力で戦う選手なら、まずまずの成績で失敗は少ないだろう。
The skater operating at 8% can get passable results and they're less likely to mess up. I tell her that's exactly right before turning back to where the test is still going on.
まあ、これは仕事じゃない。教育の一環だとするなら、全力を傾ける生徒の方が望ましいだろうが。
It isn't like we're pro sportsmen though. Since this is part of our education, maybe we do want someone who'll put their all into it.
何？
What was that? I trail off as she tilts her head at me, making her ponytail sway. And then there's the other reason.
そもそも、眠れる森の美女の主役、オーロラ姫は、ステレオタイプのお姫様だ。純真で天真爛漫。つまり、鉄面皮では演技が難しい。
The lead role in The Sleeping Beauty, that Princess Aurora, is a stereotypical princess, pure and innocent. In other words, a rather difficult role for a haughty, arrogant person to inhabit. That's the decisive reason she might not she's not right for the part. We're taught that in ballet you must always smile, even when the going gets tough. If you let any exhaustion show on your face during practice, you're in for a scolding. When it comes to the actual performance, even if the skin on your feet is rubbed raw, you can't let a shred of pain show in your expression. You force a smile when you have to.
そうね。オーロラ姫は笑顔で踊らないといけない。
Yes, Princess Aurora must dance with a smile. It's quite clear from both the outline of the performance and the character herself that there are plenty of scenes where she dances with a smile. And so,
バスキア教諭がどういう判断をするかね。
I wonder which way Sister Basquate will swing. I muttered myself, turned my gaze back to the earnest performer on stage. I expect the parts to be announced tomorrow, but instead Sister Basquate tells us the results as soon as the test is finished.
サファイアの制約トキワさん、ダイヤモンドの制約アリガさん。
The part of the Sapphire Fairy goes to Miss Tokigawa. Miss Aruka will play the Diamond Fairy. There are happy squeals as the main roles are announced. Some girls are clasping their hands together as though in prayer as they wait for their own names to be called.
長靴を履いた猫役佐々木いちごさん、白猫役佐々木りんごさん。
Puss in Boots will be played by Miss Ichigo Sasaki. The White Cat will be played by Miss Ringo Sasaki. I need a good call of mockery. Meow.
やったー、猫ちゃん役だ。
Yes, I am a cat.
衣装楽しみですね。
I can't wait to see the costume. Twins start batting at one another like a pair of kittens and the class laughs.
赤ずきん役白羽さん、狼役八坂さん。
Little Red Riding Hood will be played by Miss Shirahane. The Grey Wolf will be played by Miss Yakasa.
私が赤ずきん役？
Huh? I'm Little Red Riding Hood? I can't stop my feeling smile from a spray across my face, so I hear that Shirahane, who wanted to be behind the scenes, have been chosen to play the cute, comical role of Little Red Riding Hood.
バスケット片手に踊る白羽か。見物だな。
Shirahane dancing around with a basket in one hand really will be a sight to see. I've seen the Sleeping Beauty performed before. In my head, I put Shirahane in the Little Red Riding Hood part. I smiled to myself when... Realizing that Sister Basquet has paused in her announcements, I look back to see her frowning.
残る配役主役のオーロラ姫役とフロリナ王女役なのだけど、まだ決めかねているの。
I still have yet to decide the remaining roles of Princess Aurora and Princess Florine. It's down to the last two roles, and since neither Chidori Kasaki or Norika Hanabishi has yet been called, then no doubt both agonizing over which of them has gotten the lead.
高崎さんの踊りも素晴らしかったですけど、りっちゃんさんも負けてなかったですよね。
Takasaki-san's dance was amazing, but Richan's was nothing to be sneered at either.
私的にはりっちゃんの方が良かったけど。
Personally, I thought Richan's was better. The whisperings I overhear seem to be slightly more in Hanabishi's favor, but I still hear Chidori's name mentioned plenty.
おかしいと思います。
I find that strange. Nowadays, partner herself at the heart of this dispute steps forward in front of Sister Basquet, who still hasn't made up her mind.
花火師さんと比べ、私の方が技量は上です。悩む必要が感じられません。
I'm more skilled than Hanabishi-san. I don't see the need to struggle over the decision. The whispered discussions come to an immediate halt as Chidori's inconsiderate words and the looks of people are given to her harden. Sister Basquet looks a little taken back and admonishes her.
オーロラ姫の役はたくさんの感情表現が必要なの。豊かな感受性とそれを表現できることが重要。わかりますね。
The role of Princess Aurora requires a broad range of emotional expression. It's important to bring a nuanced sensitivity to the performance. Do you understand? Even if she's able to concede to Sister Basquet's admonishment, I'll bet some part of her still wants to put up a fight. She grits her teeth and nods. However,
私と花火師さん、 もう一度再試験をしていただけないでしょうか。
Would you allow me and Hanabishi-san to take the test again?
高崎さん、
Takasaki-san.
花火師さんも構わないわよね。
You don't mind, do you, Hanabishi-san? The president nods reluctantly, caving to see to the severe pressure Chidori's putting on her.
お願いします。
Please. She pinches the basket with a sharp but earnest gaze.
わかりました。ではもう一度踊ってもらいましょう。
Alright, we'll see you both dance again. Just like that, Sister Basque approves her request for a trial. And we'll continue with this tomorrow, because this is going to get juicy. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you on the next one. See you then.